Hey, Janice.
Hi, Alex.
Why was dance the thing that you wanted to try?
Honestly, it's because so much of my life post uni was focusing on my career. And I was at that point in my life, I was finally at a place where I realized that I wanted to do something for myself too. Dance was something that as a kid I never really did because it was so expensive to get into dance lesson. And also my parents were very focused on school, get good grades, work hard and stuff. So extracurriculars weren't that big of a thing for me. Well, at least like expensive extracurriculars. So I was like, you know what? I want to do this for myself. This is something that I've never really had a chance to do. And salsa's fun. So I decided to try it out.
On the one hand,
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like a big commitment because it's not. It's 1 hour once a week. You're in level salsa 30 right now, right? You didn't know when you were signing up that it could lead to something. You just knew that you wanted to do something for yourself. You really had to kind of be your own parent and be,
Yeah.
well, I'm making money now. I can pay for myself.
Exactly. I was, you know what, I want to try something different. I had tried bachata classes before when I was living in Ottawa. I met the Spanish girl and she convinced me to go out dancing. And so I went a few times, but honestly, once the socials came on, I was decent out of there. I can't do this. This is really nerve-wracking. Being in this room and staring at people waiting to be asked to dance.
When I first started going social dancing, I was like in that wait there. I was sitting in that corner, right there in that corner of the bench, because I was like, nobody wants to dance with me. I was a bad dancer. Those are the
Mhm.
things going through my head. What was your first few experiences?
There was no real big awkward story. I would say when I was dancing in Ottawa, I think maybe part of it was like overthinking it, but also part of it too was just reading the faces of some of the people that I would dance with. Because you can kind of tell sometimes if someone wants to dance with you or not. And or once, it starts off and then maybe their facial expression kind of changes a little bit and you're like, yeah, I really messed that up or something.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that would get to my head quite a bit. But I think what was actually a big difference for me when I started coming to TDS is definitely your vision and the school, just the culture that you try to promote is I never felt no one wanted to dance with me. It took a while for me to go out to a social. And finally, when I started going, I realized that it wasn't as intimidating and that everyone was really nice and welcoming. Even when I messed up, no one was like, I don't want to dance with you again. It was, it was like they would come dance with me again, or they were a lot of people were totally fine with me kind of stopping and asking them, I don't know this move. Can you show me how it's done? And a lot of people would walk me through it, like mid-song or something. And so I think a big part of it is just the culture that you try to cultivate within the school. I think that makes a really big difference to how I feel or felt when I first started coming. And I think that's why a lot of people come back
Mm.
because they feel comfortable being in that spot and going to the socials and dancing with other people.
But what was your journey of being an introvert, but having to figure out your own rhythm um, in the salsa bachata dance scene?
I think a good one was having the right attitude, being okay to mess up multiple times. That was one thing that has been really good with salsa, to accept that it's fine and to just carry on and try to follow the basic. A big part is the people. Everyone is very, more or less, very friendly. So it's easy. Alex, I'm at a point now. Well, after I think the second or third social, where I started asking people to dance if they were sitting on the bench.
Okay. Wow.
So like, I'm just a lot more comfortable asking people now. And I think that builds up over time too, as you get to know some more people within the school. I don't know if this is fully answering your question, but I would say the attitude, the people, and just making myself go, even on nights where maybe I just wanted a night in or something. Because there are some nights where I'm planning to go to the social and then I'm sitting there thinking, should I go? I kind of feel more like staying in, but then I make myself go anyways, and then I have a great time. I've never regretted going on the evenings where I'm thinking, I just want to stay at home and recharge. I've never regretted going to a social. So
I think
sometimes you
that's
just
beautiful.
got to get off your butt.
There is something to be said about, everyone is waiting to feel it, to do it, but sometimes you just have to go do it. You'll feel it.
Yeah, you'll feel it. And the music's fun. It's nice. I don't know. I salsa and bachata. It just kind of takes my mind off whatever it is that I have on my mind. Because when I'm dancing, all I think about is trying to adapt to the leader, their style, whatever it is that they're going to do next.
Mhm.
And like all I think about is the dancing part when I'm dancing, which is great. I love it. Good
Yeah.
stress relief, you know?
How long did it take for you to be able to be present when you're dancing?
Halfway through level two is
Okay.
how I would say, if I were to measure it from class perspective. And then from my dancing journey, I would say, because I about maybe 7 months in, because that was when I finally started going to socials. That's the one thing. Actually, if you're watching this and you haven't been to a social and you're in level two, go to a social because it makes a really big difference in just how you grow as a dancer, but also just how much more comfortable I became once I started going to socials. Made me wish that I had started going to socials sooner, which is why whenever I'm at a social and I meet someone who is in level one, I always tell them, I'm so impressed by you for coming to this social. And it's awesome that you're here because, yeah, you're going to learn so much just coming to the social. So that's one thing. I wish I had started going to socials sooner, but you know what? It's okay. I don't need to sit here and regret it because now I go to socials. So that's
And in
great.
the process, you're lifting others up.
Yeah, I want to make sure that they want to come back because it feels pretty poopy just not feeling welcomed somewhere and feeling you have to meet a certain level of perfection before being able to go to a social. I think that's not the best feeling. So definitely want this person feeling they can come back and mess up and still carry on.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. What has anything changed from how you initially felt about yourself when you first started taking classes to now social dancing and just like being at the higher levels and all of that?
I think confidence is a big thing.
Mm.
Every time I've taken money dance, it's been like a good confidence boost for me. Just not because I feel like, oh my gosh, I look amazing when I'm dancing, but more just because I feel like now I can go into dance with somebody, even someone that I've never danced with before, and be okay to mess up and not do it perfectly. Um, Actually, I was in Ottawa a few weeks ago, and I haven't checked out the salsa scene there since I moved, at least 4 or 5 years ago. So in Ottawa in the summertime, they actually have some pretty sweet salsa socials. They have an outdoor one in front of City Hall, and they get a ton of people, hundreds of people who come out. So I went to that, and I was a little nervous going, but I was actually really excited to just go and check it out. Like, I'm not as nervous anymore, first of all, like going to socials, but I it was fun dancing with the people there because they kind of had a different style because they've all been to different schools. Most of the people I've danced with have gone to TDS. And when I was there, I actually hit someone in the face because I
Sing.
I thought they were trying to do something that clearly was not what I thought they were trying to do. So I accidentally kind of like slightly elbowed him.
Nicked. Yeah.
Uh, it was a little embarrassing, but we both kind of just laughed it on off and carried on. But it was it was good. It was a good
If you
experience.
think about it this way, 4 years ago in Ottawa, you were paralyzed by when you would go to a social because you're like, nobody's gonna dance with me, nobody's gonna, right? And now it's I just clocked someone in the face with my elbow. By the way, we don't teach that at the school, how to elbow people. We teach people how to not to elbow people. You're not gonna have a
Yes.
conversation after this video. But the fact that you could laugh it off and that you can not let that be the end And a mess up is not that there's something wrong with you. It's just mess ups happen. It's like, do you realize how much growth you've experienced just as a human being because of like even something like that?
Yes.
That's
No, I
crazy.
definitely do. Yeah. That's why I don't know what you're gonna do with this, but that's why when I saw your emails, okay, maybe I'll see if he needs extra people to share their experience.
You're the first person
What,
on here.
actually?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
wait.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
so
you're the first
surprised.
person. So this is awesome. I couldn't have had a first better guest. This is really special. No, really, it means a lot. And you know how much I'm a fan of you just as a human being. Like whenever you're in class, you have this warm, kind, you have giant wings and you just put it around everybody in the class. And I've never seen you walk away from a leader and them not smiling, them not feeling good about themselves. And that's, we all mess up, we all make mistakes. It has nothing to do, and you've grown as a dancer, but it's just like who you are.
True.
Thank you, Janice.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Alex.
My pleasure.